Hello and good evening to you. Welcome to News 360 and it's live news up here at Desawe in Kanda. My name is Alfred Okanse.
And I'm Natalie Fort. A look at the top stories this evening. The headlines tonight: Auditor General casts doubt on capacity of Special Prosecutor to deliver his mandate. Also tonight, government says engagement of Star Times under a 300 village satellite TV project has nothing to do with the development of a digital terrestrial television, that's DTT platform for Ghana. Also ahead this evening, violence erupts at Sankore in the Bono Ahafo region during celebration of World Peace Day. And at least 136 people confirmed dead in Lake Victoria ferry disaster. We'll bring you details of these and more tonight here on News 360. We're live on DSTV channel 279 all across the world, on TV3 Ghana, on Facebook, on 3news.com as well. And we urge you, feel free to join us with your thoughts and views, your comments and opinions tonight as we get on to the rest of the bulletin. Let's go on to our first story this evening, where the government says the commencement of the Star Times 300 village satellite TV project has no bearing on the development of a digital terrestrial television, that's DTT platform for Ghana. It is also noted that the tax waivers granted Star Times are only for the specific equipment, devices and terminals for this satellite TV project. The statement is quoted, said, "We noticed that some commentators and media reports have confused the two projects and ended up concluding that the ministry has handed over the DTT project to a Chinese company, Star Times, to operate. The reports further suggested that Star Times has been granted tax waivers for the purpose and is to utilize the 300 community TV project to advance the enterprise. For the avoidance of doubt, we wish to state that this project has no correlation or link to the DTT project currently underway." That's a statement from the Communications Ministry said. The bigger controversy involving Star Times has seen the Ghana Independent Broadcast Association, that's GIBA, claiming that the government planned to allow the Chinese company to take over the DTT project. But government has allayed the fears of Ghanaians. Now, the government had previously said the platform will be managed by a new firm called the Central Digital Transmission Company, which will be presided over by a 7-member board on which GIBA has a representation. In this latest press release, however, the government has again said the selection of the contract and financing options for any aspect of the project should not be interpreted as an intention to hand over the ownership and management of the platform to any third party. In some other news this evening, the sudden eruption of violence marred the Bono Ahafo regional celebration of World Peace Day. Here's reports by Larry Parker-Simosis.
Newsmen got to the venue at Sankore, which has gained notoriety for its partisan political violence over the years, well ahead of time. To the utter surprise of all present, a gang of rowdy youths emerged from nowhere and started shouting at the top of their voices that they will not permit the function to take place. They first demonstrated the seriousness of their anger by ordering that the public address system be removed. And as if that was not enough, one of them appeared with a cutlass, hitting and slicing every plastic chair that was within his sight. His action was so frightening and menacing that people, including the media personnel, had to run for cover. Ironically, the security agencies were not around to ensure public safety. The police made their appearance 1 hour after the incident. By then, the marauding hoodlums, who were believed to be NPP foot soldiers, had left. Frida Aban of GTV and Dennis Prepra from GNA were among the journalists present. They commented on what they saw and suggested.
This is the first time I'm experiencing this, and it was so frightening. You know, it doesn't augur well at all. I used to hear of it, you know, we read about stories of such incidents about this particular area, and I thought that it will never happen for me to witness it with my eyes. And lo and behold, it has happened right. I don't know, I'm so terrified.
If you go down to the people, they are telling us there is no justice. Well, this problem is a problem they have to solve forever and ever. Initially, I was telling one of them that they have to bring a strong military base here. Strong military base. so that any person who might try to foment trouble will be the police, the soldiers will deal with the person.
In a chat with TV3, Asunafo South District Chief Executive Osei Bonsu assured the residents of Sankore that the perpetrators of violence in the area would not be spared. He appealed for calm in the area.
After this program, I will see Nana and then get the names. I will tell the divisional commander and get them apprehended. How must you arrest them? Because they won't allow them to go to school. No.
A rather worrying development that a violence mass World Peace Day celebration there in Sankore. We're keeping an eye on this in our subsequent bulletins to get through to the police to find out exactly what they intend to do beyond today. But straight into Tema tonight, where 3 preterm babies share an incubator at the pediatric unit of the Tema General Hospital. Now, the referral facility had 5 incubators as a monthly average of for 30 preterm deliveries, with only 2 nurses attending to 48 mothers and 50 babies on every shift. Here's a report by Peter Kwao Adato.
They come in very young, very small for age. They need to keep warm, just like the way they were in their mother's womb. So they need the incubator to keep them warm. In our facility, we have only 5 functioning incubators, and we are forced to pair them in the incubators. Depending on the time, most of the time we do about 3.
A UNICEF report estimated that prematurity and associated complications account for about 1/3 of all newborn deaths in Ghana. The 2015 UNICEF data also indicated that out of 128,000 babies born prematurely in Ghana, 8,300 died before their 5th birthday. Many of these deaths, according to the report, could have been avoided if the babies had access to incubators.
Just this August, we have received 51 preterm babies. And just imagine, with just these 5 incubators, if the very critically ill, we keep in the incubator.
The unit has therefore resorted to the kangaroo mother care, proven to cater for preterm babies.
They have a special cloth designed for the mother to keep the baby skin to skin, and they wrap the baby nicely. They receive warmth for the baby as they eat. Then it keeps them warm and they gain weight.
This worrying trend prompted the Kokroko charities to present 2 infant incubators to the pediatric department of the hospital at a cost of $20,000.
These incubators, it will help reduce, but it will not eradicate it completely, because if you look at the number of months a preterm baby will need to stay in the incubator, and you have 10 coming in that needs this help, 2 is woefully inadequate.
Founder of the Kokroko charities, Kwame Sefakai, pledged to provide other essential needs for the department.
We'll bring you sliding windows, and then we'll
From
bring
here,
you
the ACs.
2 more air conditioners.
The department does not also have its full complement of nurses.
We need more staff, because just having 1 staff taking care of all these babies, and remember the NICU is not taking care of only preterms. We have other babies with birth asphyxias and other critically newborn babies.
And on infrastructure, the maternity block project, which started more than a decade ago, is yet to be completed. The Sustainable Development Goal 3 aims to end preventable newborn and child deaths by 2030. It again sets itself to reduce global maternal mortality to less than 70 per 100,000 live births. Additionally, all countries must aim to reduce neonatal mortality to 12 per 1,000 live births and under 5 mortality to 25 per 1,000 live births. Experts are apprehensive Ghana may not achieve these goals if steps are not taken to address challenges in the health sector.
Worrying development there. But let's turn to some other stories as Auditor General Daniel Domilovo has cast doubt on the special prosecutor's capability to deliver on his mandate. Now, at a public lecture to commemorate the third Kwejo Boaredu Memorial Lecture, he revealed that the newly created office is fraught with numerous challenges. Speaking on the theme protecting the public purse, keeping the gate shut before the horse bolts, he lauded the president for establishing the office of the special prosecutor, headed by anti-corruption campaigner Martin Amidou.
When President Akufo-Addo swore in Martin ABK Amidou as Special Prosecutor of the Republic of Ghana in February 2018, this was his charge to him.
Is for a high purpose and must not under any circumstances be used as an avenue for persecution or vengeance. The office will be required to do justice to all manner of persons. I want to assure him that not only will the executive, including the Attorney General, respect scrupulously the independence of his office, but will also provide him with whatever assistance is required to enable him to discharge his high duties effectively in the interest of the Ghanaian people.
7 months on, many have been asking why the Special Prosecutor has not hit the ground running. But the Auditor General, Daniel Domilovo, reveals why not much has been seen of the Special Prosecutor over the last 7 months after his appointment.
I would like to say that I am very grateful, Mr. Chairman, to His Excellency the President for establishing the office of the Special Prosecutor, who is ready to work with me, and our collaboration, I believe, can bring about the deterrence that we require in the public sector. But I want to submit that the Special Prosecutor is not sitting well at all. There is no way he can be effective where he is seated. I want to invite all of you to visit him. I won't tell you why. Go and visit him, and you see whether you can be effective, given that you have one deputy, one secretary, and no investigator, no prosecutor, nothing. I don't think one man can do that. So my submission is that if we want to do something, let's do it well. And I believe if that office is well resourced, it will help Ghana to go forward again.
That's the Auditor General, Daniel Domilovo there. Certainly, we're going to pay the Special Prosecutor a visit in the coming days. But I've been joined in studio by Adam Senano, who's the co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption. Senano, thank you very much for your time, as always. It's great to have you. Now, when Martin Amidou was appointed, high expectations. I mean, and people started sending petitions to him right from the onset when he was sent off. 7 months on, not much has been heard of him. People even began to question his competence, not knowing that this was what was going on in the office.
Yeah, Alfred, it's quite disappointing. One would have expected that, and I'm sure it is not the president's wish that this should be the situation.
Well, but that is what it is.
Yes, it means that somebody has slept on the job.
Who is
and the president ought to find out who has slept on the job and hold them accountable.
But in this case,
for not fulfilling what he intended to achieve.
It is the president who, in fact, we had to recall what the president said.
Yeah,
when
he
was
said he will be provided with everything he needs.
It was unequivocal in that statement.
Absolutely.
Very, very specific.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure viewers heard it. So who slept on the job?
Yeah.
Who has not carried out the president's promise to provide resources for the Special Prosecutor to work effectively?
It's a real disappointment because, you know, many of us thought that was a classic move by the president, choosing somebody who we all had confidence in. And we had no doubt that once he has the resources and the tools, he was going to deliver. Unfortunately, as you've pointed out, it's 6-7 months going on. Nothing tangible has been in the public space. So we've all been very concerned. I think that we should take the suggestion by Mr. Domilovo seriously, and all of us should pay him a visit. Indeed, about a week or two ago, civil society, we wrote formally to him asking whether we could pay a visit to understand what was going on. And so this revelation coming in the wake of that will just further consolidate our thinking that we ought to go there and find out what does he have in terms of furniture, logistics, cars.
I mean, one deputy, one secretary, and there is no investigator. And that's critical to his work, the discharge of his duties. An investigator to authenticate and indeed investigate some of the petitions that have been sent to him. And so he can't just move and start prosecuting people if investigators don't go out to investigate the petitions that have been given to him.
Well,
so
I know that part of the challenge was that the necessary ally coming as a follow-up on the law that grants him the powers ought to have been, delivered through the necessary parliamentary processes. I don't know whether the Attorney General has been able to do that because he needs to be clothed with the specifics from the ally to be able to execute his mandate. And that too may be one of the delays. But outside that, I mean, if he hasn't had the personnel to begin training, to orient them, then it means we may have a much longer delay in getting any results from that office. I think it's also important to point out that I think Mr. Domilevo was talking more about the capacity of the office.
And not the person.
And not the person, yes.
I mean, certainly.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
Nobody really doubted the capabilities and the competence of the person.
Yes.
But certainly about the office itself and the resources to work. So you have no reason to doubt what Domilevo said?
No. So we have a strong leader, but we have a weakened institution at the moment. You need both strong leadership and strong institutions. And what it would take for that office to be strong has not yet been fully provided, and at least that is what we are hearing.
What does this tell you about our fight against corruption, the commitment to fight corruption in this country?
You know, there was one of his other quotable quotes that we're doing a lot of talk and not acting. And I think this is a very good example of that we're doing talking, but those who should act are not acting. And since now we are supposed to be citizens and not spectators, I mean, civil society, media, citizens, let's begin to ask the government to make sure they deliver on this particular promise. It's so key to all of us. And it's a shame that those who ought to have taken the right steps to ensure that the office is provided with all it needs by this point have not done so. Somebody should be held accountable.
Well, in this case, it's coming from the president. So I don't know if you're saying he should be held accountable for his work.
Well, yes, the president is responsible, and he should also let us know who else he had mandated who has not performed.
Ms. Sano, I want to thank you very much for your time as always. It's great to have you. Adam Sano is the co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption on this. So stay with us in our subsequent bulletins. We'll take this matter from different angles. But away from that, there is uneasy calm in the Biakoya district following the refusal of the district assembly to use lands donated by the chief to construct an assembly complex. Now, the district assembly is now being constructed on land the assembly purchased from an individual. Now, meanwhile, chiefs of Nkonya have threatened to go to court over what they term as an abuse of state funds. Here's a report by Robert Abelba.
The Biakoya district was one of the assemblies created in 2008 by executive instrument with Nkonya Ahinkro as the district capital. Following the legislative instrument and a later agreement between the chiefs and the assembly, the chiefs of Nkonya Ahinkro have made available about 10 hectares of land free of charge for a permanent assembly office complex. Documents seen by TV3 showed that compensation has been paid to all persons who have property on the land. Surprisingly, the assembly opted for a disputed parcel of land offered by an individual for a fee. Amidst protests from the people, the Volta Regional Minister, Dr. Archibald Yaolecha, on Thursday broke the ground for the construction of the assembly office complex at Nkonya Kajebi, where the disputed land is located.
We decided that we should get an assembly hall for Biakoya. So we are happy to be here today to cast salt for the commencement of the project. And I want to thank the chiefs and the people of Nkonya and Biakoya for support.
The 2.4 million cedi project, expected to be completed in 12 months, will have offices, a conference hall, stores, science laboratories, among others.
Of late, it's very difficult getting the government of Ghana projects coming with advanced mobilization. The good thing about this one is that it has come with a mobilization to the tune of, I think, 417,000 Ghana cedis.
The paramount Queen Mother of Nkonya traditional area, Nana Utubia I, expressed their reservations about the action by the assembly.
We have made all the relevant documents available to her free of charge. What interest has the DC got in the said land at KJB. And is the DC trying to mar the peaceful environment we are enjoying now by going to site the district assembly at the disputed land?
She also threatened court action against the assembly, the chief executive, and the Volta Regional Coordinating Council.
I don't think I will sit down for things to go bad. So we will meet at the legal court for the court to determine whether it will give her the permission to build the assembly at the disputed land where 4 families are claiming ownership.
Meanwhile, both the district chief executive and the Volta Regional Minister have declined to comment on the claim by the chiefs.
You're watching News 360. Let's now turn to our citizen journalist on our MTN Video reports this evening.
This is a very big gutter that has been washed by rains over the years. It has been one of the problems confronting the people of Bamboy and its environs. This erosion has eaten all over, getting into the road that leads to the Black Volta. All access roads very soon will be blocked, and there will be no way to go into the Black Volta to fetch water. People have been using this place as a refuse dump. When it rains, the rainwater washes all this dirt into the Black Volta. We are appealing to the authorities in charge to construct a drain that will lead straight to the Black Volta. This is your citizen journalist, Dodovi Mensah, reporting from Bamboy.
Well, we encourage you to also send your video report via our WhatsApp number. It's 055-1433-044. That's 055-1433-044.
On News 360, Auditor General casts doubt on capacity of the special prosecutor to deliver his mandate.
Also, government says engagement of Star Times under a 300 village satellite TV project has nothing to do with development of a digital terrestrial television platform for Ghana.
Also, violence erupts at Sankore in the Burahafo region during celebration of World Peace Day.
And still ahead on News 360, at least 136 people confirmed dead in Lake Victoria ferry disaster. Stay with us here on News 360. We'll bring you the details of these stories and much more news. Welcome back to News 360. Time now for some business news. And we start off with Senior Minister Yao Osafo-Mampho, who has given the hints that government intends to ban the exportation of raw materials. He was speaking at the Ghana-India Trade Summit.
The Ghana-India Trade and Advisory Chamber is a non-profit organization whose primary goal is to promote and enhance trade, investment and cultural interactions between the two countries under 4 key areas, namely consultancy, trade, advisory services and training. The latest reports by the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, listed India in 3rd place after China and the UK as Ghana's major trading partner. The total volume of trade between Ghana and India hit $3,604 million in 2017. India's exports to Ghana stood at $623 million, with that of its imports from Ghana pegged at $2.9 billion over the same period. India has been supporting Ghana by providing assistance in setting up projects in the spirit of South-South cooperation through the provision of lines of credits or grants. The senior Minister Yao Osafo-Mampho said government is putting in place measures to increase foreign exchange through value addition.
We believe, as part of Ghana Beyond Aid, that we need India to assist us in our partnership to add value to our raw materials. I'm therefore appealing to the Indian community and to the Ghanaian businessmen that you must be looking at your businesses from this angle, because very soon it may not be easy for you to get raw materials from Ghana in the form of raw materials.
Ghana's ambassador to India, Michael Okoye Jr., noted Ghana could compete on the world market if it emulates best practices from India.
There's no country in the world who does cottage industry better than India. And since Ghana wants to do it better than anybody else, we are going to work with the Indians in partnership to grow our industry from cottage industry, small to medium scale, and then to large scale industry, so that we can use it for the benefit of the people of Ghana.
India's High Commissioner to Ghana, Birinder Singh Yadav, called for mechanisms to facilitate trade.
We have never been bothered about this huge trade imbalance between India and Ghana. And we have never thought of introducing any imposition of tariffs or barriers to prevent this huge trade imbalance. In fact, India throughout the last so many decades have been a votary of promoting trade with Africa.
The total volume of Indian investment in Ghana between 1994 and June 2018 stands at 1.2 billion cedis.
In some other business news, HR Focus magazine has honored practitioners for their meritorious contribution to the sector in the country. The event, dubbed an evening with top HR practitioners, saw 40 individuals awarded.
The top 40 HR practitioners doing big things in 2018 is a listing established by HR Focus magazine to celebrate and applaud HR department heads who have excelled in human resource management in their organizations across a wide variety of industries in Ghana. Those selected were seen by a technical team to be doing a number of the following: developing a strong employer brand, demonstrating a strong focus on developing of people in their organizations, leading or playing a major role in change management programs, and contributing significantly to the development of strategic HRM agenda in Ghana. The special guest of honor for the event, a seasoned HR practitioner, Florence Hartful, called on practitioners to open up and share credible data that would further enhance HR operating environment.
In your pursuit of change, some of you have incurred the wrath of irate staff and peers as you have tried to implement robust performance management systems that have made some staff uncomfortable. In your pursuit of change, you have occasionally stepped on some big toes. Even the CEOs on whose behalf you have presumably taken some of those actions have failed to support you. But you must take heart, because change is tough.
The CEO of HR Focus, Dr. Ellen Hagan, encouraged HR managers to work at challenging the status quo and be at par with global standards.
We are not going to keep quiet and watch things go bad. We're going to use our influence to make the world of work a better place for our staff, because if we do believe that the human resource is the most important asset of every organization, then we should think about them whenever decisions about the workplace are being taken.
Some awardees indicated the awards will propel them to make further difference in their career.
People are our greatest asset, and I'm honored to work with people. People are very different, but I love the challenge. Great honor.
The change is going to be big, but we are fortunate to be in a country that's receptive to change, and I believe that the white papers won't be dormant on shelves, but they'll actually shape the future of people management within Ghana.
In spite of the challenges that we face, your colleagues, professionals will appreciate the impact that you are making on developing the human resource for the country. I'm excited.
Now, dare to dream, but dream only if you are willing to live out your dream. These were the words of the Chief Executive Officer of MTN Ghana as he spoke with recipients of MTN Bright Scholarship Program.
The MTN Bright Scholarship Program received over 1,500 entries from all 10 regions of the country, out of which 205 were shortlisted and a final 100 selected. The 100 awardees are 82 males and 18 females who are currently pursuing courses in the fields of engineering, science, and the humanities in public tertiary institutions across the country. The MTN Bright Scholarship covers tuition and accommodation fees and an amount of 500 cedis as stipend to cater for reading materials every semester. The CEO of MTN Ghana, Selom Adadivo, encouraged the students to dare to dream and be prepared to live it out.
It's been about 3 months since I started here at MTN, and it's extremely exciting to be part of these types of programs. For those of you who know me personally, the youth and supporting the youth, empowering the youth is something that's very dear to my heart. And to see the foundation investing in programs like this is simply amazing. Dare to dream, but only dream if you are willing to live your dream. So what that means is if you're not willing to actually put in the work that's required for your dream to come true, then don't dream at all. And some of us dream, but we don't put in the effort.
Since its establishment, the MTN Ghana Foundation has invested over $13 million in 142 education, health, and economic empowerment projects, which have led to the brightening of more than 4 million lives across the country.
We will be commissioning more projects before the year ends. We will complete the new Grabin Senior High School ICT Library project in the Eastern region. We will officially commence the Gimpa Telecoms Library in Greater Accra, and we will commence the construction of a 6-classroom block for Inshiaesu Basic School in the Ashanti region.
Some recipients expressed their excitement to MTN Ghana for the support.
This has been a hope for us. We started somewhere and then God be so good, we've reached this far, and I'm hoping that with this scholarship that I've gotten, I'll be able to achieve my goal.
Looking, if this scholarship hasn't come this time, I don't know how I've been even paying my fees. So we thank MTN Ghana for bringing up this initiative to help needy but brilliant students like me and myself and many other people like that. So we really thank MTN Ghana for bringing something like this on board.
And that's how we wrap up with the business segment here on News 360. For some more business news, visit our website. It's 3news.com. Over to you, Alfred.
Right, so lovely. Thank you for business. Now to the Ashanti region, where some heads of basic schools in the Kumasi metropolis have appealed for help for completion of some abandoned classroom blocks. They lament the abandoned school blocks has led to congestion in schools and is taking a toll on quality of teaching and learning in the area. Here's a report by Beatrice Piogabra.
This is a 6-unit classroom block initiated by the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly about a decade ago for the Dumenu MA Basic School. Construction works have stalled at the foundation level and the structure is deteriorating. The school has a pupil population of over 400 with an average class size of 65, which affects teaching and learning. Head teacher of the school, Beatrice Frimpoma, says the structure has now turned into a death trap. She said teachers constantly have to ward off the pupils to avoid a disaster.
We are living in a state of fear because if anything happens now, can't rescue all the kids. There are many, some have not been to school due to this, and some parents too, when they come, because of the conditions in this classroom, they don't even bring their children at all.
The toilet facility in the school is also in a dilapidated state. The roofs are ripped off with the water closet blocked. Metropolitan Chief Executive for Kumasi, Oseye Sibe Entry, during a visit to the school, promised swift action to fix the toilet. He has also indicated readiness to facilitate completion of the abandoned school structures.
You're watching News 360. We've got some sports news coming up shortly. Stay with us. Welcome back to News 360. On the international front this evening, following recent floods across Nigeria, the country's Center for Disease Control has issued a warning for a number of waterborne diseases. The national disaster was declared in 4 states after more than 100 people died in flooding over the last 2 weeks. With stagnant water in many of the affected cities, the authorities are concerned about the spread of diseases such as cholera and typhoid. The CDC has issued a number of advisories, including avoiding using flood water to drink, wash dishes or prepare food. But locals in Egagi village say they have little choice but to use flood water as they have no other source of water.
Let's go to Tanzania, where at least 136 people have died after a ferry carrying hundreds of people capsized on Lake Victoria in Tanzania. Officials say many are missing, and it is feared that more than 200 people in total may have drowned. Rescue efforts resumed on Friday after being halted overnight. The MV Nyerere ferry overturned near the shore between the islands of Ukara and Bugolora. Now, it is thought the overloaded vessel tipped over when crowds on board moved one side and also hit the dock. Now, local media say the ferry's official capacity was 100 people, but officials say the vessel was carrying more than 400 passengers when it capsized. News reports say the ferry's engines were recently replaced after a local member of parliament complained about the previous ones. There's more news on 3news.com. We're back shortly with some news on entertainment tonight.
Let's now turn to some entertainment news this evening, as September 21 marks the birthday of Ghana's first president, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Inspired by the achievements and leadership traits of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, a young poet named Kelvin Kwame Enyomi has dedicated his latest poem, titled Nkrumah, to celebrate the hero.
Self-government now was the very few words on which you were convicted. 61 years on, and I'm a student who hears your elegies bred with dirges and imagine how you wove the beautiful quilt of independence for Ghana.
Stage named Kells the Poet, Kevin Kwame Anyomi describes himself as the gong beater sent from the golden parlor of Odomankuma with circumcised messages for the streets of Ewiase, inspired by the great work Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. His latest work, titled Nkrumah, celebrates the heroism of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's first president. The masterpiece eulogizes Kwame Nkrumah, whom he describes as a true visionary.
61 years ago, and our country was shaken off the shackles of colonization. One by one, from Indewura Jakpa, the Red Hunters Gonja, through Osei Tutu Ashanti to Ni Takitewiye Sakra. Everywhere has taken the white man's oppressions.
The young poet believes trailblazers' achievements, ideals, and leadership traits are worth emulating.
Join hands to say, Mo Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. For our freedom, you strove and strive for.
Yeah, absolutely. In Deura Japa. It's amazing. But we have a full weekend of activities. Let's just give you an idea of how the weekend will be.
All traffic will lead to the National Theatre on September 23 as gospel musician Bernard Amankwa holds the 11th edition of his concert Celebration of His Grace. The concert will provide a perfect atmosphere for gospel music enthusiasts and worshippers to praise God. Headliner Bernard Amankwa will be joined by great performers Edwin Datson and Edith Maffo. Sweet-voiced singer Irene Logan will make a special appearance. Also happening this weekend at the Afua Sutherland Children's Park is a major cultural event, the Igbo Day celebration. All Igbos living in Ghana will assemble amidst drumming, dancing, and singing to celebrate the Igbo New Yam Festival, also known as Iriji Festival. A special highlight will be the spectacular display of Igbo culture and tradition.
Tourism is also being promoted in Ghana because this is just about tourism. Like the masquerades coming from Nigeria, those that have come already and those about to come, what are they coming to do? They are going to promote tourism in Ghana. So we'll try as much as we can to showcase our colorful, rich culture.
Themed celebrating Igbo culture in the diaspora, the festival will again feature prominently a special display by masquerade warriors from Igbo land.
Very eventful weekend there, especially for the Nigerians. Now, staying on Nigerians, Nigerian superstar Adenkule Gold is on tour promoting his sophomore album, About 30. In his first interview with the Ghanaian media, he touched on his personal life and upcoming concert in Accra.
So you're dating right now?
Oh yeah, sure.
May we know who?
No, you don't.
No, but we've heard rumors circulating.
I keep hearing.
Is it Simi?
I don't know. I'm not talking about that.
But is it Simi?
Let's just talk about my show, guys. I don't know.
I think I saw a performance of you guys. You're a bit romantic on stage and all of that.
Everybody, I was romantic with Shay.
No, but you were very romantic with Simi. And you can see, you can tell the chemistry. The chemistry is there.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro, don't lose my market again. All the fine girls in Ghana, we just want to be.
I don't know about Simi. We all like Simi. I love Simi.
Oh yeah, sure.
I love your music. So you're in Ghana for a show.
Yeah.
What is the
show? A showcase. So it was supposed to be just meet and greet before, and then as we speak, the lineup is crazy. It looks like we're about to have a concert in like a small space, but I'm honored that people want to do this for me. It's amazing how people are responding to the show. Because it's not a territory I'm familiar with here, and then the love I've been getting so far has been amazing.
So what should we come expecting tomorrow?
I talk a lot.
You talk.
so we gist and then you see, because I came in my band.
Certainly, it's been an eventful holiday for us.
It has. An eventful weekend ahead as well.
Do we even have holidays? We don't.
Not quite.
On behalf of the rest of the team, we want to thank you for spending your 60 minutes with us here on NEWS60. As always, my name is Alfred Kansi.
I'm Natalie Fort. You can visit our website, 3news.com, for some more news. Have a lovely evening and an eventful weekend.